Seltzer Kings
podcasts.
Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
Why would you do this to her? You really hate her that much? This is not about hate. It's about power. Willow always had all the power, long before she even knew what to do with it. Just came so easy for her. The rest of us? We had to work twice as hard to be half as good. But no one cares about how hard you work. They just care about cute, sweet Willow. They don't know how weak she is. She gave in to evil and stuff worse than I can even imagine. She almost destroyed the world. And yet everyone keeps on loving her? So what's wrong with having a little fun, huh? Taking her down a peg or two?
Fun? She's disappearing. Fading away in that creep. And you think it's fun?
It was just a game. It's not my fault if she's losing herself.
I'm gonna stop you now, you know.
Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. But I wonder where he'd be right about now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Buffy. We're just two boys watching every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time, giving our review, our reactions. We're your hosts. I am Joe Welke.
I am Vance.
And today we're talking about Season 7, Episode 13, titled The Killer in Me. Directed by David Solomon, written by Drew Z. Greenberg, original air date February 4th, 2003, to an audience of 3.46 million people. And this audience, this viewership is dropping off pretty hard recently.
Oof.
No bueno. But
interesting.
yeah.
After the last episode, you would think people would be more locked in.
Yeah, you would think so, but no, I guess not.
What month is this?
It's February.
Yeah, February's a weird one.
Yeah, this is also usually around when Buffy's birthday episode is, so strap in.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that.
Join our Patreon where we're doing Boys Watching Angel, Boys Watching Movies, Joe's Fashion Report /Corner. You can do that at patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy. Join our Discord where we have a lot of lively conversations going on there, including finding out a lot of mistakes that we've made. And one that I made last week is saying that all of the potential Slayers were 15. That is not the case, according to Discord. And our listeners, even though the show was like, hey, we're in this bar and we're a bunch of 15-year-old girls. Apparently Kennedy is 19 or something, according to people in Discord.
Yeah, I don't know where that fact came from, but someone on Discord mentioned it. I did want to say on Discord, we also talk about the movies, the Boys Watching Movie section, so you can join to talk about the movies. You can join to talk about Angel. You can join to talk about a lot of other stuff, too. And
some stuff that I don't even know about.
Yeah, but we do have a real correction, Joe, that's not Discord related. And it's about your penis demons in the bar that Spike was talking to.
Yeah. I figured it out on the Angel podcast last week. That penis demon was in Angel. So if you want to hear all about that penis demon, you got to join the Patreon.
And penis demon is a stretch. I don't think it looked like a penis demon. Like a lot of flabby flaps on it, but not.
Yeah, he had a lot of like little tendrils sticking out of his face. I wasn't wrong about the llama penis mixer spritzer. That was definitely in the episode.
Yeah, sure.
Do we have any other announcers? No shout outs this week.
No.
I
guess we should.
Do you want to get a?
I guess you were going to tell people how to get a shout out.
If you want to get a shout out,
I guess
if you're still interested in that, Apple Podcast 5-star rating and review, Spotify 5-star rating. Take a screenshot of it, send it in to us, or get us something off of the Amazon wish list. I think that's about it for the announcements, right?
Yeah. Prediction time.
Prediction time. Oh wait, should we crack open?
Oh yeah, let's crack open.
Let's crack open the Peachy Keen today, right?
Monster Energy drinks, the drinks we drink when we podcast.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get through the day without it. These really start to take effect when we're at Angel.
So, do you want my prediction or your prediction first for this episode?
Oh, I think my prediction had something to do with Spike grappling with the killer that's inside of him, right?
I think what I have here is that Buffy wants to reopen a relationship with Spike, but he doesn't feel worthy yet.
Yeah, okay. That didn't happen.
No, and mine was insight into Principal Wood, who does not show up in this episode.
Oh, yeah. Man, he's been gone for a while.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're back to our terrible predictions.
Yeah, this season has been tough for us.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we get into the episode?
Yep.
All right. This one starts off with a long recap of Giles telling everybody that the First wants to erase all of the Slayers. Spike being a Manchurian candidate type thing where he's got a trigger that awakens the first evil that's within him. Amy the Rat being told by Willow to stay away from her because she's a bad influence. She's her magic peddler. Spike having the chip. They're talking about Hostile 17 once again. Warren shooting Tara. Dark Willow. Warren getting flayed. And then we cap off this recap with Kennedy hitting on Willow. And I was like, looking at all of this recap, I had no idea what to expect from this episode.
I have to say I'm with our Discord user, Holy Fat Fish. With these recaps are annoying. Because one, you know what I did expect?
The recap?
Yeah, the recap. Oh, on the show, actually. Not us doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it because one, now I know Amy the Rat's showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know the initiative is going to be a part of this somehow. I know we're going to have to bring up Tara, like everything they show in the beginning just kind of foreshadows what's going to happen. So it takes away any surprise. I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for that moment to relate to something in this episode. And it's like checking off a checklist.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, all right, well, how are we going to grapple with Kennedy hitting on Willow?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, Kennedy hitting on Willow, there's going to be something there instead of just going in.
Yeah, Angel doesn't do recaps at all.
No.
They just launch right in.
And I don't know I wonder if every streamer does the recaps, because I know they're obviously not on DVDs.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they are on the DVDs.
I've heard they're not.
Huh. Where would we be without that previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, though?
Yeah, I think they're just getting too far. I think they're doing too much.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've been saying, the last couple of them, they are long recaps.
And did they do that as much? Did they always have a previously on even in the earlier seasons?
I remember
they were skip episodes,
some kind of
right?
Factoid. No, it was it's on every single episode except for one or two or something like that.
Yeah, I think the body maybe doesn't have it or something. Okay.
Yeah, I saw some kind of quote unquote fun fact about that. But the actual episode opens up with Giles at the Summers home, and he's telling Dawn that she needs to take Vi's notebook to the car because she's an idiot and she forgot her notebook, because he's taking them to he's taking all the potential Slayers to go do that vision quest that he took Buffy on to see the first Slayer and learn about their powers.
It took Buffy 5 seasons of being a Slayer to have the vision quest, and now they're getting it before they're even Slayers. Great.
Yeah. I was going to say,
Yeah.
like, can you even go on this quest without being a Slayer?
It's wild. Yeah.
Yeah. But Giles is feeling all a little twitchy about leaving, Buffy and Dawn and all them alone. He's feeling twitchy about leaving the potential Slayers alone, and he doesn't know what's going on. But we do know that Kennedy is going to be missing the trip because she's got the flu. She's sick. She can't go. She's feeling pretty rough. And who delivers that news but Willow, interestingly enough. But Xander comes rushing in from outside, and he's like, Giles, you better get out there. You better take these girls out to the desert quick, because they're starting to fight. Because they need to figure out who's going to drive. And Rona and Molly are in a actual like fist fight over who's going to drive. And then Buffy's like, oh, Giles, bet you wish you would have renewed this California state license now. And it's just like all leading to like, oh, Giles can't touch anything. Giles hasn't touched anything. Giles can't drive. Giles isn't doing all this stuff. He didn't get the notebook to give to Vi. He can't drive. Ooh, suspicious. And
then he sits down on the coffee table.
Yep.
I was like, okay.
Yep.
Like, I don't know what the definition of can't interact with stuff means if he can actually be in a car.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
At that point, I was like, he's a real person. I was like, I don't think he's the first anymore at this point.
I mean, it's that whole thing of like, if you turn invisible, does that mean that your clothes are also invisible, or is it just your body? Do you have to run around naked all the time, or can your clothes also be invisible? That whole thing.
I watched an episode of Solar Opposites recently, and they turn invisible and they're blind because they can't see, because they can't reflect light off the back of their retinas.
Yeah, their eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember reading a Cracked article about that. That was like the best Cracked article I ever read. It was like why you wouldn't want any of these like superpowers. Mm-hmm. And the invisibility one is like you'd be blind. Absolutely.
Did it talk about the ability to fly?
Oh yeah, it did.
Why did it? Do you remember what the problem with that was?
There were so many problems with the ability to fly. Number one, it was like if you have the ability to fly and you're like flying above a city, like you don't have the directions, like you don't have a Google Maps in your head, so you would have no idea where you're landing. There's also bugs flying at you all the time, birds. It also is colder in higher things. I mean, I guess if you just like, flew 10 feet off of the ground, that would be something.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to be like fast too, like your eyes would get dry. You need to wear like goggles, and your clothes would probably rip off or something like that.
Yeah.
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 Cool. But anyway, Rona's driving. Rona won the fight. She stuffed Molly in the trunk. Yeah. And so then Buffy goes to the basement to see Spike, who's got a nice little cot set up down there. And he's been very annoyed with the potential Slayers as well. He's so happy that they're going to be gone for a couple days or whatever, because they're a bunch of fucking teenage girls, and they're clip-clopping their high heels around, and they're annoying him. And Buffy's like, hey, that's a little harsh. And he's like, don't act like you're not happy they're gone. And Buffy's like, yeah, I'm actually happy. I can't wait to just use my bathroom. I have my bathroom all to myself. This is so nice.
Yeah. Is Xander like living there now?
I guess. It seems like everybody, I mean, there's like 16 people living at that house at this point.
And they're just kind of chill. They took it for, they're like, yeah, the first is on a vacation after the last one. We're fine. You go to the woods by yourself, Giles.
Yep.
Kennedy, you just hang out here. They're really lackadaisical with an all-powerful evil being on the lurk.
Yeah. Yeah. The essence of all evil.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, you want some tricks or golden grams? Dawn, don't forget you got to go to school.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
But yeah, with the new potential Slayers, I mean, and as you stated before, there were more, but now they've pared it down to just the 4,
and now to the 1.
Yeah. So there's Kennedy, Molly, Vi, Rona.
Mm-hmm.
There's Giles, Buffy, Dawn, Willow. That's 8 people if Xander's not living there.
And then Anya's always over there. And Andrew.
And Spike.
And Andrew.
And Andrew. And yeah, there's like 10 people just hanging out. Dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Spike's down on his cot and he's taking extra precautions. He's chained himself up to the wall where he was chained and broke out before. But he wants to stay safe and he doesn't want to hurt anybody in case like the first evil gets a hold of him again. And Buffy is like, but I thought that storyline was done. I thought that was over.
She's like, we're past that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. He's like, no, I don't know. We might not be. And she's like, nah, we're good with that. We need to make sure that, but they're going to do some more research about, they need to make sure that Spike's never going to get triggered again. And in the middle of Spike, like talking, he starts to have some brain pain and he starts freaking out. And it's because the chip that the initiative installed into his brain is now malfunctioning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's activating at random times. And it's really hurting him.
Yeah. Would have been nice if the recap didn't give away that the mention of him getting a chip installed.
Yeah. Dude, in that recap, they also had Riley, and Riley looks fresh out of a shower or something. His hair is all wet. He's looking good, man.
Riley wasn't a bad looking person. He was just like, character-wise, didn't work.
Yeah, he was bred.
Yeah.
He was an unfrosted Pop-Tart.
Let's move on.
Rehash Riley being boring. So Buffy goes upstairs. And Willow's there and she's like, hey, how's Spike doing? And Buffy's like, he's in and out. Like he's really not dealing with this brain pain well. Like something's going on with his chip.
Well, no, Buffy asked, Willow, what do you know about this chip? Yeah, I know I haven't brought this up ever in all these seasons, but what can you tell me about this magical device that's inside of a vampire's brain?
Yeah. But also, like, Willow's making tea for Kennedy, and Buffy's like, oh, making tea, and I was like, where did you catch on to this?
Yeah, right?
And Willow's like, yeah, I'm just making tea, and Buffy's like, sure, girl.
Maybe Kennedy's been saying a lot more stuff. Like she's not been hiding her sexuality at all in any of the scenes we've seen her in. So
yeah, she is rather overt.
Mm-hmm.
But Willow talks to Buffy and she's like, yeah, I don't really know too much about that chip. I just know that the initiative installed it and was supposed to make him not be able to hurt any living thing. And then Buffy goes, but Spike was able to hurt people when he was brainwashed, when the first evil. And Willow's like, yeah, but that was because of the first evil.
When she said that, I was like, wait, how does that work?
Yeah. It's just like when you talk about Star Wars, like, how do you do that? The Force. I don't know.
Metachlorians.
Yeah. So how was he able to hurt people when he was brainwashed? That was the first evil.
Yeah.
And Buffy's like, I don't know, man. I think there might be something wrong with the chip. And then Will's like, I don't know, but I gotta go deliver this tea to Kennedy. And Buffy's like, yeah. Why don't you spill some tea on that situation when you come back downstairs? And Willow's like, it's just tea, Buffy.
Yeah.
So Willow goes upstairs and she's going to deliver the tea to Kennedy. And Kennedy is putting her boots on. And Willow's like, what is this? What are you doing? And this is where the light bulb goes off for Willow that Kennedy was never sick. She was faking. She just didn't want to go on that vision quest. And Kennedy's like, all right, you caught me. I was faking. Okay, fine. But I didn't go because I have my own mission. I have my own separate thing that I need to do. And I actually need your help, Willow. I need your help to complete this mission. And Willow's like, whoa, this sounds important. All right, fine. I'll help you. What's this mission? cut to them hanging out at the Bronze, getting some drinks.
Yeah. Yep. They're real casual. It's fine. You're just out with a potential slayer that's hunted down, and you're at one of the biggest murder spots in the city.
For years, you know that this is a murder spot. This is where you made people float and turn into goats with Amy the Rat. This is where you dressed up like a vampire and duped a bunch of people.
The Bronze is like, it's like a place that anything can happen in, and it can never get shut down.
Yeah.
It's
the
amazing.
Bronze is literally like Las Vegas. It's like whatever happens at the Bronze stays at the Bronze, you know?
I guess, yeah.
So nuts, man. But yeah, Willow and Kennedy are out at the Bronze. They're getting some drinks. They got some big daiquiri looking things. They look, I don't even drink, and those looked delicious, dude.
You would like whatever's in those cups.
Absolutely. It just looked like an alcoholic Jamba Juice or something.
Like some type of giant daiquiris. And I'm like, what does the Bronze do? They have coffee. They have martinis. They have, like...
They got beer and red Solo cups.
Yeah, man.
But Willow's there like, what is this mission? What mission is this that we're on? And then Kennedy's like, look, all right, there is no mission. God, how dumb are you? Fucking, I just wanted to hang out with you. I got the hots for you. And Willow's like, wait, what? Oh, come on. Let's go back to the house. And then Kennedy goes, you know, Willow, you're real sexy when you pout. And Willow's like, okay, I'll stay for one drink.
I couldn't believe Willow was going to leave her there.
Right?
Like, you don't leave Kennedy at the Bronze.
Out of all the potential slayers, though, maybe aside from Rona, she seems to be the most capable.
Have we learned nothing from Annabelle?
Yeah, that's true.
They don't run around in Sunnydale.
Yeah. Yeah, because leaving her at the Bronze alone means that she's going to have to come back to the house alone. Yeah.
If she makes it out of the Bronze, good luck making it home.
Yeah. So Willow's like, all right, I'll stay for one drink. And Kennedy's like, yay, okay. So, Willow, how long have you known that you like pussy, girl? How long you know you were gay? And Willow's like, how do you know that I was gay? How do you know I'm gay? I could not be gay. And Kennedy's like, come on, girl. I know you're fucking gay, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I can tell that you're a lesbian just by the way you fucking walk and you talk and you just, yeah, dude. And then Willow's like, no, for real though. And then Kennedy goes on this whole speech about how like lesbian attraction works and how she was like lusting after Willow. And Willow's like she's all verklempt and she's like, okay, I knew I was a lesbian 3 years ago. And it wasn't that I was a lesbian or that I liked women. I liked one woman, and I was gay for her. And then Kennedy's like, all right, we'll see about that.
Wait, you dated a werewolf too? What is that? What was that?
You had the longest time crush on the Windows replacer guy? You cheated on your werewolf with the Windows replacer guy.
Yeah.
And then after that, you went back to the werewolf guy.
Yeah. And then you fell for a lesbian witch. Do you think she put a love spell on you? No, I erased her memory so she would love me. Oh, okay. This is okay.
To make her forget about a fight that we were having because I was doing magic with her, and that's why we're at the place we're at now.
Yeah. I hope you like magic, Kennedy.
Uh-oh, trouble in paradise already. So then we go back to the house, and Buffy visits Spike in the basement, and, you know, he's been in so much pain, man. He's bleeding all over the place, and she brings a nice little cool towel to dab his face off. And Buffy's like, man, do you think this problem with the chip is related to, you know, your like Manchurian Candidate trigger or the fact that you have a soul? And Spike's like, I don't fucking know, man, but this is killing me. This hurts so bad. I hate this. And Buffy's like, all right, I'm going to do some more research about this. And Spike goes, what are you going to fucking research? Behavior modifying chip? Yeah, I don't think that there's going to be any kind of book research on that. And Buffy's like, you're right.
They should have hard cut to her finding that in the book.
Oh my God, that would have been so funny. That would have been so funny.
Just open a book.
Just like flips open the first page in any random book.
Yep.
Oh yeah, see Spike? But she's like, all right, you're right. This isn't really like a book lookup situation. I guess this is more of a phone call situation. So I'm gonna call somebody. So then we go back to the Bronze.
Wait, I just gotta bring up the Spike says, who you gonna call? And then they have that little moment of the Ghostbusters reference. And he's like, we can't use that phrase anymore ever, can we? And he's like, nope. And I'm like, why is that in this moment?
That's more of an Andrew line, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little weird, like, aside while this guy's like bleeding all over the pillow.
I think it works if Buffy says the line of like, oh yeah, that makes me think of like Ghostbusters if she refers to it, as opposed to Spike calling it out after he says it.
Yeah.
You know? Because Spike wouldn't, I don't think Spike's going to call out that. He's like, who are you going to call? He's not going to be like, oh yeah, it's a Ghostbuster movie that I watched.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
So we go back to the Bronze, and Willow and Kennedy are still having drinks, and they're talking about being lesbians, and Willow's talking about how Tara was her one and only, and Tara was the best, and I loved Tara so much, and she was so cool and hot, and just the bee's knees.
And we're like, her?
Yeah. Yeah.
She loved Tara.
Yeah. So then we go back to the Summers house, and Buffy's calling Riley to figure out what's wrong with the chip. But it takes, the phone call goes to like a flower shop. Mm-hmm. And Buffy's like, wait, is this some kind of secret government organization type of deal? Like where, this is just some kind of front for the initiative? Because otherwise Riley gave me the wrong number, and I don't think that he would do that. And they're like, no, this is a flower shop.
Yeah, she doesn't know. Like, I think she's always just called a number or picked up a phone and just talked into it. Like, I didn't know how she was going to call him. I didn't think she had a way, but I do like that she's just calling some random place and they're giving her a runaround while she asks for Riley, last name Finn, blah, 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 Chip. It's a good Buffy on the phone scene.
Yeah. But meanwhile, in the background, Spike starts having chip pain again. And Buffy's still trying to get in contact, and she notices that Spike is in pain. And then he starts to like kind of shrug it off. Like after Buffy's like, yeah, I couldn't get in contact with him. I don't know. But Spike like just rubs his hands over his face, and he's kind of like, no, it was fine. It's getting better now. And I was like, uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh-oh. And it's a little suspicious. And then Buffy's like, all right, well, I don't really know how we're going to help you now. And Spike's like, no, it's fine. I feel better now. But it just starts screaming, like a long, sustained scream.
At this point, I was wondering where Dawn was.
Yeah.
Because this dude is on the stairs screaming loud as hell. Everybody should come running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, according to Willow earlier in the earlier scene, she's like, man, this guy's been screaming a lot. Maybe they just got kind of used to it.
That's all it takes is like he just screams for a couple of days. They stop paying attention. He's like, now I get to do my murdering.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be like living in a haunted house. Like, hey, keep it down, and start banging the broomstick. Bring it, turn it down, fucking Spike.
It's just the vampire we have chained up in the basement screaming again.
Who's been haunted by this evil, the essence of evil.
Who tried to kill Andrew not that long ago.
He killed a bunch of people, like buried them in a basement like last week.
What people? What people? They're all dust. No proof. There's no proof. There's no proof.
True. Their families don't miss them.
Nope.
They're not wondering where they are.
Yeah, their family's probably at the Bronze dancing away. Not even kidding.
Speaking of the Bronze, we go back to the Bronze, And Kennedy and Willow are still there. And Kennedy's like, well, here's how I knew I was a lesbian. It was when I was 5 years old, I saw Gone with the Wind, and I knew it right then and there. I wanted to sweep, I forget the name of the character. I wanted to sweep,
O'Hara.
what's her face up? Yeah, I wanted to sweep her off her feet. And Willow is there.
I love the
wow,
old
that's
movie
really early.
references. I love
Right?
the old movie references in the show. It's like out of time. I love it.
Yeah. But Willow's like, yeah, that's great. But like, why do you like me? And Kennedy's like, we like the same kind of stuff. And Willow's like what? You don't know anything about me. And Kennedy's like, oh, we both like having drinks at the Bronze. We like fighting evil. We both wear pants. We got a lot in common here.
Yeah.
And Willow's like, everybody likes having drinks at the Bronze and wearing pants and fighting evil. And then Kennedy's like, all right, here's how I knew that I liked you. Here's all the stuff I like you. I like your smile and I like your freckles. They're very lickable. And look, I don't believe in any of that bullshit magic stuff. I don't think that's legit. But like, I see that you like it, and seeing how much you like it makes me happy for you, and it makes me like you even more. Like how, dedicated you are to this tomfoolery bullshit magic stuff.
She literally says, I don't like that fairy tale magic stuff. And I was like, what? Like, you got introduced to magic and your thought was like, oh, that seems all make-believe and fairy tales. I'm like, you're waiting for someone to die so you get superpowers. But magic is whatever. I do like
magic that you've seen work.
The thing that Kennedy says that I thought was interesting is that she says she likes the way that Willow speaks. And I was like, yeah, that's a nice... I thought they were going to dive into that a little bit with like the cadence that Willow has that I've brought up before. But yeah.
You mean like when Willow talks like this and she's worried about Kennedy and Kennedy really wasn't sick?
That's not my Willow thing. My Willow thing is where she takes, like how Christopher Walken does, a break in a sentence that's not where the break normally would be.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I was going to then go to the store. It's like it's something about it where she just breaks and takes a deep, like she takes an inhale, like she's out of breath in the middle of a sentence in the wrong spot almost.
Yeah. It is an odd speech pattern. And I don't know if I haven't really seen much of Allison Hannigan outside of Buffy at this point. Mm-hmm. But I wonder if that's just like how she does it, or if that's a character quirk of Willow.
I feel like it's a little bit her, but I haven't seen like How I Met Your Mother and like the American Pie movies and stuff with her in a while. And I didn't watch her in Dancing with the Stars, so I haven't seen her interviews or anything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen American Pie in forever. I feel like somebody in a Discord was like, I watched it recently and it does not hold up.
Oh, yeah, I would not expect it to hold up.
Yeah. But yeah, Kennedy just likes the stuff that Willow does, and she's fallen hard for her, real fast. Probably because she's the only other lesbian in town. Yeah, this is a one Starbuck town. This is a one lesbo town.
I think there's a lot more lesbians in town because of when Amy the Rat and Willow. Well, when Amy the Rat and Willow went to the Bronze, then Amy the Rat snapped her fingers to get a girl to come over to Willow, which was wild. I think that girl was
just like,
I wasn't sure if that girl was with another girl or she just snapped and made someone. We talked about it on that episode. I wasn't sure.
I think that she was with a guy. And
I thought she was
Amy
with another girl.
Her finger.
I think she was sitting with another girl.
You might be right, actually.
Yeah,
you might be right.
But it wasn't like. But I'm not going to say two girls sitting next to each other at the bar necessarily means they are dating. But
I mean, in Sunnydale, it does.
So Willow and Buffy have been dating?
Yeah, they're lovers.
That would really tank the show if Willow hit on Buffy.
Yeah, that would really be bad.
Her
But
hooking
we
up
still
with
have
Anya.
half a season.
Her hooking up with Anya would like be less of a. It'd be drama, obviously, but it'd be less of a. Oh no, you did that. Yeah.
Yeah, and plus Anya's been trying to give it away. She can't get anybody interested in her.
Hey, Andrew's there.
Yeah, he is, but Andrew's probably gay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He's
Yeah.
only for
Is
that
he-
one.
is
Only
he-
for that one.
Yeah, he's got the hots for Warren, or
Yeah,
or
but
at
that was the
least he
only
did.
one. That was his only.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. And you think that him and Dawn are going to hook up, so who knows? So Willow is like, all right, it's time to go back home. Let's go back home. And Willow's like, all right, was that good enough? Did you complete your mission? And Kennedy's like, well, there is one more last part of the mission that I need to fulfill. And Willow's like, oh yeah, what's that? It's like, Willow, dude, how dense are you, dude? Like,
Willow's not dense. She's actually just like fishing for it. Like, what do you like
think
about
she's
me?
fishing for it?
It's a little dense, but if you think about her on her fuckboy, why not just get this person to do all the stuff for you?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Willow's like, oh, she's got the flu. Yeah, you're a magical witch. You can't tell if someone's sick, faking sickness.
Yeah. But yeah, even when she went to the Bronze, she was like, there's no mission. I was like, dude.
Wait, you got to the Bronze before you asked what a person who doesn't live here has a mission to do? She's
how
not
do you
even
know
a,
that Kennedy's not the first evil?
she's
Well, I
not a
guess she's been touching
slayer.
stuff.
She's not a slayer, and she doesn't have a watcher. So how would she even get a mission?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
But Kennedy's like, all right, I got one more thing to do to complete this mission. And Willow's like, oh, yeah, what's that? And then Kennedy goes in for the smooch.
I can't
And
believe
they
they put this stuff
start-
on TV. I can't
I know.
believe it. This
Sickens me. How am I
smut.
supposed to explain to my children that two women are in love?
It's bad enough I have to explain fairy tale magic stuff. Now this.
Had a hard enough time explaining to my kids about
Well, I don't
Spike
know why you're
being
doing the accent.
tied up to a wheel and getting branded and cut and bleeding all over the place. Now I got two ladies, two hot and sensual ladies kissing. How am I supposed to explain that to my kids?
You went with the accent. You're
Yeah.
always throwing them under the bus.
Hey, Southern Christians, they don't like it.
Hey, I mean, you got Northern Californians, middle area.
What do you want? You want me to do a Harrison?
I want you.
Butker?
I want you to do a Midwest.
Okay. Oh, don't you know? How am I going to tell this to my? It's like Irish.
That was
What am I, Kendra?
At first, I thought you were going to try to do the Minnesota, the
Oh,
Bobby's
don't
World
you.
Mom.
Hi, how am I going to explain to my children?
That insensitive leprechaun.
You shouldn't be kicking. I'm going to beat you with a shillelagh. But anyway, Kennedy and Willow are making out.
Did the initiative stop putting chips in things? If you can make a behavioral chip for a vampire, you can make a behavioral chip for anything.
Yeah,
should
put
be
it in
rich.
Willow, make her straight again, so I don't have to explain to my kids. All jokes,
a less
people, all jokes.
a less evil way of doing that is like, oh, I want to stop smoking, or I want to stop drinking, or something like that. You know?
I mean, that could be incredibly useful technology.
Oh my god, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm overeating. Okay, this turns your overeating down, even though we have like, injections
Yeah.
now for that. But
Yeah. The Ozempic
mhm.
chip.
Did you say? Oh, you haven't seen this, but South Park has a the end of obesity episode thing. I'm gonna
I
check out
saw
eventually.
I saw it advertised.
Yeah.
It looks dude, I fucking love South Park.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to this episode. We're already.
Yeah, they're making out. There's a huge like camera twirl around them making out because when two ladies have a first kiss, it's magical.
It's a fairy tale.
It's a fairy tale. And speaking of fairy tale magic bullshit, this kiss somehow turns Willow into Warren.
We got a body switch.
Yep. Willow now has the visage, the appearance of Warren. And Kennedy sees this and she backs away, starts freaking out. She's like, what the fuck? I don't want to kiss any dudes. I've been lesbian since I was 5 years old. And Willow is talking to her and she's like, no, it's me, it's Willow. It's still Willow. But Kennedy's like, you don't fucking look like Willow anymore. Go look in a mirror, dude. So Willow goes to a mirror and she's like, oh, holy shit, I look like Warren now.
Does she just come downstairs like that?
Yep.
That's stupid.
And everybody is huddled up. It's Xander, Anya, and Dawn sitting so incredibly close to each other on the couch.
What are they doing? Are they watching TV? I don't even know.
I don't know, because Anya isn't facing the TV. Like, they're not facing the same direction. But they're like huddled up, sitting so close to each other, like uncomfortably so.
Yeah.
And Willow and Kennedy come downstairs. And they're all like, what the fuck? What's Warren doing here? Oh my God, the first evil is here. And Willow's like, guys, stop freaking out. It's not Warren. It's me. It's Willow. And then
she doesn't say Willow. It takes her forever to say her name, right?
I think she says it's Willow.
I think she says at the end.
Maybe.
Or maybe she says in the beginning.
Do you think she just keeps saying like, it's me?
Yeah, I felt like she was playing that like pronoun game. Hey, I'm not Warren. Like, but maybe she did say I'm Willow, and they said no. I felt like she didn't say it until the end.
No. She keeps trying to say, I'm not the first evil.
Yes.
I'm not the first.
Yeah.
That's what she keeps saying.
And it's not until the end that she says, I'm Willow. But it's like, that's got to be the first thing you say when you hit the bottom of the steps.
Yeah. Or have Kennedy go down and soften the blow.
Yes. So I was upstairs getting freaky deaky with Willow. And they got freaky deaky.
Drinking some tea.
Wait, Kennedy, I thought you were sick. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So all the Scoobs are freaking out. Xander, Anya, Dawn are like, oh no, the first is here. I'm not the first. Andrew shows up. And Andrew's like, you're back. I knew you'd come back. And he starts freaking out. And then he hugs Willow from behind and grabs her boobs. And Willow, within Warren, is like, hey, don't fucking touch me.
It's like bad touch or something. Because it's like they cut. They don't like shift, but they just like cut between the two of them. So he's hugging Warren, but when we see it from the other angle, he's cupping her breast. Yeah. And then like she shoves Andrew off of him. When does Andrew hug? Because I know he hugs her, but is this before or after he goes on his spiel about I'm not going to do all the first evil stuff? Because he starts talking like... I think he hugs after he does that. Okay. Yeah, he's like, you made me do horrible things and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because he's saying all of that, and then Willow goes, I'm not the first. And he's like, oh, okay, you're back. Yeah. And then he hugs him. Yeah. At that point, stop saying I'm not the first. Say I'm not the first and a Willow. But I get it for the scene. We want the confusion, the whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So then Buffy shows up, and Buffy just straight up walks over and decks Warren/Willow in the face, and she falls to the ground. And she gets up finally. She's like, no, it's not. I'm not the first. I'm Willow. And then Kennedy finally speaks up, and she's like, yeah, something freaky's going on. Some kind of fairy tale magic bullshit, maybe. I don't know. And they're like, oh, yeah, how can you prove that you're Willow? Prove that you're Willow. And then Willow turns around to Xander, and she goes, oh, I can prove that I'm Willow, buddy, because I've got a story from kindergarten that doesn't involve yellow crayons, that you would not enjoy getting out into the public, that involves your Aquaman underoos or something like that. Yep, that's exactly what she says. Yep. Yeah. And then Xander's like, hey, it's Willow. It's Willow, everybody. Everybody, it's Willow. And Anya mentions that it's like, it must be like some glamour or something. Yeah, which is something that you brought up a while ago when Jonathan was doing that. Because it's a part of like the Wolf Among Us game reference is where I heard it from. But it also gets brought up in this Angel episode. They say glamour again in that one. So I guess it's another fairy tale reference of something that makes you look human.
Yeah, or like
or something else. Yeah,
some kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Willow's like, yeah, I must have done it by mistake. I must have done this glamour by mistake. And they're like, how could you do it by mistake? And Willow's like, dude, I do spells by mistake all the fucking time.
Like, remember that time I turned all of us invisible and we couldn't see each other and it was a split time continuum? Yeah. And then Gnarl ate my flesh.
Remember that time when I mistakenly made anything I said become possible? Like I blinded Giles and I made Spike and Buffy in love. I mean, this was before they were actually in love, but this was...
I'm not in love with Spike.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, you are kind of bad at that, even when you are good at that."
Yeah, you blinded Giles. Yeah. And then tried to make it up for making cookies to make it up to all of us.
Good Lord. So then they
was the worst.
Dude. So then they all resolve to help Willow. We got to help her. We got to figure out what went wrong and how to reverse this. And Willow's like, no, I'm going to do it myself. Meanwhile, Spike is in the back and he's just writhing on the floor.
I did like that War Willow lies about what turned her. She doesn't say I kissed and I turned. She was like something else. She's like, oh, I don't know. It's something else that did it.
Yeah, they don't talk about Kennedy and Willow smooching, and that could have been the trigger for this glamour spell to take effect.
Yeah.
Do you think that there would have been any kind of backlash from the Scoobs if Willow was like, me and Kennedy were kissing? Would they have been like, Willow? Really?
I think Dawn would have had a reaction. I think Anya would have said something funny and snarky. I think Xander would have smirked. And I think Buffy would have been like, told you. Yeah.
That is a great breakdown of everyone's reactions to it.
Mm-hmm. And I would have been
exactly what it would have happened.
And I'd be like, Xander, you creep.
Yeah. Yep.
Standing Xander in a corner, watching like a guy.
So all the Scoobs are like, oh, we got to go check on Spike. Something's going on with the chip. We got to check on what's wrong with Spike. And Willow's like, all right, well, I'm going to go try and fix this spell by myself. So Willow leaves. The rest attend to Spike. And then Kennedy, she decides to go follow Willow. She's like, all right, I'm going to try and see what, kind of voodoo fairy tale magic I got myself into here by kissing this hot, sensual redhead. So Willow's walking the streets alone. The best idea.
I love the times when they can just casually walk the street.
Yeah. Well, the first evil is they're on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Because Buffy beat the Turok Han, so they're backing off for now.
Buffy beat the vampire that it raised from a crypt or something. So the first evil, obviously, all powerful, had to leave.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They got to regroup, come back stronger.
Yeah.
So anyway, Kennedy runs into Willow, finds Willow, and Willow's like, dude, what are you doing here? I thought that you were going to stay at home. And Kennedy's like, no, I want to help you. You look like you were having a hard time. And Willow's like, yeah, I am having a hard time. I look like the guy that I fucking killed. And Kennedy's like, so?
Is that a red flag? Is that a red flag for Kennedy? Or is the horny hotness factor just like, what's that crazy hotness scale?
Yeah.
Like, where does that fall? Murdered a guy, but she is hot.
Yeah. She does have very lickable freckles when she's not looking like this guy.
Kissing her turns her into guy that she killed. That's not lingering trauma. Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, we were talking last episode that Willow had gotten over her trauma because she didn't even react to Andrew talking about skinning the snake.
Yeah. And I was so surprised that Discord was like, I never put that together. I was like, what?
Someone said they've won 50 or 80 rewatches, and I question what watching means. Because after that, I feel like if I was watching the show for like the 5th time, I'd be looking for random other stuff. Like I would not be paying attention to the main story.
Yeah, looking for clues about like what's going to happen,
or just staring at the
there.
background characters.
Yeah,
like yeah. Like that scene,
But
I would have just stared at Spike the whole time in the background. I would have not paid any attention to everyone talking.
Yeah. I was very surprised. I was like, oh man, that was like the first thing that came to me when he's holding a skinned snake talking to Willow about wouldn't it be weird if people shed their skin?
Yeah, we both.
And no one reacted to it.
We both had the same thought immediately.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. People just watch shit differently. They pick up on stuff that we never pick up on.
True.
Like the here endeth the lesson.
Yeah, I think that has to be a rewatch. You can't pick that up on the on the first watch.
Miss Edith.
Yeah.
But Kennedy's like, well, you're a witch, right? Why can't you fix it? Can you fix this? And Willow's like, I tried to fix it, but it didn't work. Something's blocking me. And Kennedy's like, well, I'm here to help. And in my notes, I wrote that Kennedy is walking so closely to Willow that she's like banging into her with her shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
That's how close they're. I'm like, good Lord, dude. Like, you are so close. This is absurd.
She's clingy.
Yeah. Got a stage 5 clinger here. Dude, like if my girlfriend was walking that close to me, I'd be like, hey, can I get some fucking space, please? Like, I get that, Kennedy's got a crush on Willow or whatever, and I guess it's blocking, but they're so close. I don't even know how they didn't like trip over each other.
Are you a hand holder?
Every once in a while, but not really.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
You?
No.
Yeah,
I have done it, but I'm not a.
When I do it, it's for like a minute tops.
Yeah, it feels weird. It feels like you're trying too hard.
Yeah,
and that's not to knock hand holders out there. You do your thing, do you? But
I can do it, but eventually it just becomes inconvenient. Like people start walking towards you, and it's like, oh, let me shepherd you through this. Like, dude, we don't need to do this.
That's the worst. If you're hand holding and you're like, we can't let go of our hand until we get to where we're going, and it's a lot of maneuvering.
Yeah. It's like you're playing Red Rover or whatever, just like clotheslining people with your love. I don't know, man. I think that also is like how I was raised. Like my parents and family, like we're not like a touchy-feely type of family. But like a girl that I dated in New York, like her parents like always held hands. Mm. And she was like, this is who I grew up with. And so if I don't receive that, it's like, I don't feel loved. And I'm like, oh, I grew up with like, you don't need to be always like touching someone to show your love.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man.
We were raised by TV.
Yeah. Anyway, Willow is like, we're going to go see some old friends to take care of this glamour spell that I'm under. Kennedy's like, all right, cool. So Buffy is now with Spike. And they're walking through the woods. And Spike's like, hey, thanks for coming with me to do this mission. And Buffy's like, yeah, no problem. I'm surprised that this is still available to us. And they're going through the woods because they're going to dig up where Spike was held captive by the Initiative.
No, they're just going to break into the Initiative. It's just one of the secret ways to break in. He says it like this is where they kept me.
Yeah.
But there's so many ways into the Initiative.
Yeah, the last time it was like through a cave or something, or like a shipping crate or something.
Yeah.
But, and also they need to dig. They don't dig that deep. They just dig like, maybe a foot. And it's just like, all right, here's the entryway.
Sunnydale has such a deep, rich subterranean. Like, you think New York has a subway, a whole city underneath? Like, Sunnydale, man, the caverns and the Initiative is massive.
Yeah. Their cave system is insane, dude.
Yeah.
Insane.
Mm-hmm.
So they find the secret entryway, they open it up, and they climb down. So the Scoobs are at home. Anya, Xander, Dawn, and Andrew, who I'm just now going to include in the Scoobs at this point.
I included everyone in the car later as a Scoobs.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's an honorary, according to us. Not according to them, but according to us.
Yeah.
So they're at home and the phone rings, and it's something about Robson. Robson is on the phone.
Yeah.
And he's alive, which I was surprised by. I thought he died.
Yeah, well, we don't see him die. He's dying.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's talking to Giles, who shows up because Robson's, I guess, I don't know if it's his wife or his colleague or whatever, but that lady, Nora, she's been killed.
Potential.
Yeah.
She's a pre-sire.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Robson was like checking on Nora, and he gets attacked by the Harbingers. And Giles shows up, and he's looking for Robson and all that shit. So Robson calls the Scoobs, and he tells them, like, hey, is Giles there? Is Giles all right? Because, look, man, I got attacked by the Harbingers, and I blacked out. Giles showed up, and the last thing I remember before I blacked out again was Giles was about to get his head fucking chopped off. Like, I saw a Harbinger rear an axe back and take a full swing at Giles's noggin, and then I blacked out.
And depending on which recap you watched, it either came really close to his neck or less close to his neck before I blacked out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so the person, I forget who was actually on the phone. Was it Xander?
Yes, I think it was Xander.
Yeah. And Xander is like,
or was it Andrew or Xander?
It was Andrew, because Andrew picks up the phone and goes, oh, Summers residence, this is Andrew speaking.
Yeah, it is Andrew. Yeah. And I thought this was going to be someone from the Angel show calling.
Oh, yeah. But so they're like, wait a minute. So that's the last thing that anyone heard of Giles back in jolly old England? Wait a minute. Giles might have died. Oh my God, Giles might be the first evil. And Andrew's like, well, and then they're all kind of like, well, there's no way to know if Giles is the first evil. And then Andrew goes, well, there is a way to know, because the first evil can't take a corporeal form, so they can't touch things. And then so they all start walking or talking around, being like, have we seen Giles touch anything since he's been back? Has anyone touched Giles? Has anyone hugged Giles since he's been back? And I was like, God damn.
Like, you don't have to hug him, but you guys haven't interacted. He hasn't grabbed anything. He's been around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they all have the realization oh, fuck. Giles is the first evil. Giles is definitely the first evil. Oh my God, he's out there in the desert with the potentials, just fucking out there. And then they're like, we gotta go to the desert. We gotta go now. And then Andrew's like, all right, cool. Can I come? And they're like, no. And this has nothing to do with you. Xander's like, this has nothing to do with you being evil. It's just that you're really just fucking annoying. And then Andrew's like, please let me go, dude. Don't leave me here alone. Every time I'm in this house, I get attacked. And you're just going to leave me here fucking alone? That's inhumane. And then Xander's like, no, we're not going to bring you. And he's like, please, 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 with a cherry on top. And Anya's like, dude, just bring him. And Xander's like, oh, fine. Just come. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Let's go. And he's like, yay.
I love that Andrew brought up that he keeps getting attacked in the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buffy's house is not the safe spot that you ever want to go to. It seems like it, but man, he's been bitten by Spike. He's been tied up by Anya and Xander. He's been attacked by the Harbingers.
Tarakan came in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like he's kind of proven his worth at this point. At least enough to survive.
I don't, he brings up, don't leave me here because I'll do something bad or something. And I'm like, yeah, don't leave him there. One, you can never fully trust Andrew. 2, Andrew has like summoning demon powers.
Yeah.
And it's nothing but like witchcraft and magic potions and stuff at this place. So I don't know. It's like, it's tricky how they like let him roam around when he has the power to do some stuff. They don't fully trust him, but he's like just hanging out.
Well, they don't fully trust him, but they are also very willing to leave him alone.
Here's my question, though.
Devices.
Here's a real question. Why haven't they just sent him on his way? Why is he staying at their house? The first evil doesn't have a plan for him anymore. Now that he knows that Warren is fake, that's the only way it can get to him, right? His dead friends. He's not training the Slayers. He's not helping. He's not like making them lunches. So what is he doing there? He doesn't even have any more information. The first reason he was there is because he had information on the first, because he had interacted with Warren and all that stuff.
Additional comic relief, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the logical reason for them to keep him there.
Yeah, that's like, a good point, man.
Kick him out. He does not need to be, and he should not want to stay there.
Well, do you remember when like they came back to town? It seemed like they kind of wanted to join the Scoobs, like he and Jonathan. They're like, hey, we're going to raise this thing. We're going to save the day. And then maybe Buffy will let us into like the Scooby gang.
Yeah, but that was him like lying to Jonathan because he was to make Jonathan think they were doing something good.
Maybe he's just like a follower. Like he's a lemming. Like he has if somebody powerful is around, he's like wants to be attached to them. So like Buffy, like Warren's not around anymore. So Buffy's influencing him.
No, that makes sense on his part. I'm saying, why do they keep him there?
Yeah.
Wouldn't Willow be like, hey, get your ass back down to Mexico?
Yeah. Well, here's another question. Are you happy with his inclusion? Do you like him as a character being around?
I like him fine as a character in here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's providing some pretty decent entertainment.
I'm just thinking, like, logistically, why they're like, oh, we got to keep Andrew around. He provides nothing tactical. They're not using his demon summoning powers. He doesn't offer anything.
Every time he tries and volunteers to help, they're like, no.
Yeah.
Huh.
So what is he doing?
Yeah, that is a good point.
And but hey guys, 2 things. If Giles is the first evil, he's probably not going to the desert like he promised. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, why would you do that? Just steer the car off the road and kill them all. 2, take some freaking weapons, guys. They just get their coats. They're like, it's kind of cold in the desert. Get your jacket.
I mean, but if he's not corporeal, how could they couldn't attack him with anything?
I'm saying he couldn't attack the girls if he's not corporeal. So wouldn't he be planning to have the Harbingers or somebody do the attacking?
I mean, I feel like Xander has to have like some kind of weapons in his car just at the ready. Like there's no vampires. I got a fucking thing in my car that
when we see later, they don't have any weapons. They are going straight up bare-handed.
My mom always used to have a brick in her car in case anybody like fucked with her. She was like, I'll just hit him with a brick.
That's so bad. Why not just have mace?
My mom, I don't know why my mom did not fuck with mace.
Why do you think punching
I've got
someone?
A Maglite flashlight in my car.
I know your mom instilled your fear and your baseball bats and everything.
Yeah, I got a baseball bat.
But a brick is not smart. You have to get close to someone to hit them with a brick. What, you gonna throw that? What happens if you throw it and miss?
Yeah.
And if you're like,
I mean, honestly, like the flashlight won't help me. I have it in my like glove compartment. I need to like open the glove compartment.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I keep this in the trunk. It's like, yeah, if you start popping that trunk, I'm out of there. That's all it takes for me to leave if I see a trunk popping in the middle of an altercation.
Well, that's like when people talk about like they needed the gun for home protection if somebody breaks in, and then they have it like in a locked, they have to like unlock a safe and
then the bullets are in something else. And then
yeah, I think Bill Burr had a bit about that.
Wait up, robber! I gotta go assemble my weapon.
Hold on, stay in the kitchen. I gotta go to the dining room to get the bullets.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Scoobs are out. They're gonna go confront Giles, and Giles is just out in the desert at the campfire, and he's looking evil, and they got the evil music playing, and he's there by his lonesome. We don't see any of the other potentials there with him, and we're like, oh God, what did he do to him?
Did you think that when you were watching, were you worried that he was the first at this point?
Yeah, a little bit. So then we go to, there's like a circle of witches in some random place, and I was like, I don't know if we've ever seen any of these people before.
I kind of knew what this was going to be. I thought she was going somewhere else, but when they walked into this place, I knew what it was.
See, I thought this is where I thought she was going. I thought she was going to Rax.
I thought she was going to, well, she killed Rax, so she knows Rax is dead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot that she killed Rax.
Yeah. So I thought she was just going to recap Amy the Rat. I was like, yeah, you're going to Amy the Rat. And I saw her in the recap. Why would you ever bring her up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a circle of witches, and Willow as Warren and Kennedy show up. And it's the college Wicca group that she was in when she still cared about college. And Willow shows up and she's like, oh, wow, guys, look at all this progress that you've made. This is impressive. You guys are doing stuff. And they're like, sorry, who are you? And she's like, oh, I'm Willow. I've got this glamour spell going on, and I need some help getting out of it and trying to figure out if you guys can do something. And they're like, I don't really know if we can do that. And I don't know if you are actually Willow. And then from the ashes, from the unknown, Amy the Rat stands up and she's like, no, that is Willow. I can tell it's Willow. And look, Willow, I'm here and I'm trying to get better. And I know I did a lot of fucked up stuff, but I'm here trying to get better, and I'm sorry. I'm doing better now. I know I was a magic junkie just like you, but we're all about...
I love that Kennedy's looking at this and she's like, yeah, okay, so she's a junkie murderer, still hot, still hot.
Still lickable freckles.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, dude. This must be like the slimmest of pickings. Like that Kennedy is like, I gotta get with this one Starbuck lesbian in town.
Yeah.
But Willow's like, yeah, I just need help. And the head witch lady's like, I don't know, man. We're healing spirits now, but I don't know if we have the capabilities, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try to help you, Willow. And then so Amy and Willow are sitting across from each other, and Amy's like, I think I can do it. I'm the head. I'm the most powerful witch here, most likely. So I'm going to try and help. So Amy's trying to do a spell, and it doesn't work. In fact, it makes things worse, because now Willow is slowly turning into Warren, because after the spell doesn't work, she stands up as Warren and goes, no, the spell didn't work, you stupid bitch, and just slaps Amy in the face.
Warren.
Yep.
Joe's favorite character.
Yep. Hey, no. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Thought he was a great villain. An underrated villain.
I thought he was a great engineer.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, one of the most effective villains. He killed one of the Scoobies. And he sent Willow down a dark path.
Did Tara make it in the Scooby level?
She was in the intro credits for that one episode, her last episode.
Yeah. They gave her the intro credit for the last episode.
Yeah, as a nice little send-off, they gave her the intro credit. So she was one of the Scoobs.
That's like getting the Academy Award for Lifetime Achievement, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I would say that she was one of the Scoobs.
But I know
even though she didn't feel like
her and Dawn talked about being on the outs and not really being a part of the Scoobies, you know?
Yeah. But I would consider, if we're going to consider Andrew a part of the Scoobs now, like Tara was definitely a part of the Scoobs.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, he killed Tara and he sent Willow, he turned Willow basically evil by his actions. Sent her on a dark path.
Which ended up killing him.
Hey, strike me down and I'll become more powerful than ever.
I'll become you, Willow.
Yeah. So after Willow / Warren slaps Amy, they run away and Kennedy goes and follows. And Willow's freaking out because she's like, dude, I am turning into Warren. I don't know. And Kennedy's like, come on, we can still try to help. They're just trying to help you. Why'd you slap? Why, how could you slap? And Willow's like, hey, dude, I'm going to deal with this on my own. And in case you haven't realized this, a little date of ours is over. And then she walks away and Kennedy tries to follow her some more. And then Willow puts up like a barrier spell. And Kennedy's like, oh, this fairy tale bullshit nonsense magic. Thwarted again. This made up nonsense magic that totally works.
Yeah, the most powerful thing in the universe.
Yeah. It's kind of like, you remember in the Avengers or whatever when Captain America, they're talking to Captain America about fighting Loki. And they're like, hey, be careful, Cap. This is a god. And Captain America goes, there's only one god, ma'am. And he doesn't look like that. It's like you're literally fighting alongside a god, dude.
Yeah.
Another Whedon.
He's seen so many aliens in other places in the world, and he's like, all right, yeah.
Yeah. There's only one Lord and Savior, and his name is Jesus Christ, ma'am.
And he looks like all the pictures, not like a Middle Eastern person.
He's fucking shredded white guy.
Yeah.
But anyway.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Subtle results, still you, but with fewer lines. Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
So Spike and Buffy they're climbing into the initiative basement and they're walking around. They find a bunch of dead bodies of demons and Buffy's like, oh my God, this is terrible. Didn't they say that they're going to like cement this place? Like they were going to fill it with concrete or something?
Yeah.
They find all these dead bodies and Buffy's like, oh, they just left them there to die. And I'm like, okay.
Like how you guys just step over them. Yeah. I'm surprised you have any feelings whatsoever.
Yeah, whenever there's a human that gets killed on the upper grounds, you're like,
I mean, you guys were there fighting people.
Someone will figure that out.
You saw all those monsters that were down there?
Yeah.
Like the last time you guys were here, it was pretty messy.
Yeah. But Spike is like, all right, I'm going to try and find the med lab because there is some kind of drug that they can give him that'll numb the pain of the chip that is supposedly down there in the med lab. And Spike needs to get some more of that.
Yeah, it was like every
And
time.
This is also.
Yeah, he's like every time it would like kind of be weird. They would give me like some drug, and then it would make everything better again. And I'm like, so when it was malfunctioning like 3 seasons ago?
Yeah. And also, is this the first time we're hearing about this too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's never had chip malfunction without like trying to attack someone.
Yeah.
But now apparently when he was locked he was only locked up there for maybe a month tops.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And I know he wasn't sneaking back in there being like, hey guys, I know I'm out there, but can you guys give me a little tune up? Like what?
Yeah. I guess maybe like in the initial tests and trials of the chip.
Yeah, but like he said he did it multiple times. It would help for a couple hours or something. But I'm like, you've been going years without this thing being a problem.
Dude, everything about this chip is
I
just
know, I
crazy.
can't believe it's still a thing. And why do you not travel all the way across the world and just be like, hey, give me a soul and take this thing out my brain?
Right.
like make it a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah. But as they're looking for the med lab, there's some kind of creature or human or something lurking in the background. And they start to hear it. And they're like, uh-oh. So
I did not care at all about this creature. I was like, I'm not worried.
Yeah. So then we go to the Scoobs. They're all driving in silence. And Andrew is like, can we just play a game or something? Like, it's way too fucking quiet in here. Like, let's play, what's the game that he wants to play? Like Ghosts or something like that?
I wasn't really paying attention. I know at the end, doesn't he want to play like I Spy or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But they're all worried about what's going on. And Xander thinks that Giles has brought the potentials out there to kill them all. And they're worried about what they're going to do once they get there. Like, what if he is the first evil? What are we going to do? I don't know, but we got to go there. We got to save him. All right.
They mentioned they don't have a Slayer. They don't have a Witch. It's just an ex-demon. I forget what they call.
An X-Key and 2 geeks.
And I really expected Andrew and Xander to have a look there. Yeah. But then I think he just does Andrew just does like, hey, we want to play another game.
Yeah. So then we go to Willow/Warren just crying their eyes out in an alley.
How this doesn't make every single vampire come out of the woodwork.
Right, dude? I mean, that's just prime prey right there. So Spike and Buffy are still searching in the basement, and they hear like a metal creaking, and they're like, uh-oh, something is here with us. And they're like, oh yeah, I think it's coming from that direction. And they point their flashlights over there, and then they don't see anything, but they're like, maybe it's over there. And they point their flashlights there, and there's nothing. And then just this demon just comes out of the darkness from the shadows and just starts attacking them. So
if only somebody had super hearing down there.
Yeah, if only somebody had super senses, super sight, super smell, super hearing.
And this footage is dark too.
Right, dude? I was going to say, you can see all the fucking grain. They had that ISO jacked up, dude.
All that. Yeah, yeah, I don't know why they didn't just shoot this like they shoot every other dark scene in a cave and kind of just light it a little better. Like, just make it brighter and we'll just be like, yeah, it's dark in here. Like, they went dark and they couldn't. It got, I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe they did do that and then they saw like how shitty the demon looked or something, or the set looked, and they're like, oh, let's make that a little darker.
I don't know. I mean, you can make it's better to shoot it visually and then make it darker in post than to try to brighten it up in post or make it visible in post. I don't know. It's definitely an issue.
Yeah, it's way too dark. Yeah. Like, it is pixelated as hell.
Yeah. It's got a lot of digital noise.
Yes. So then we go back to the classroom where the witches were, and Amy's still there, and she's packing up her stuff, and Kennedy returns. And Amy's like, oh man, you're really worried about Willow, huh? And Kennedy's like, what'd you do? What did you do to her? And Amy's like, look, Willow's been through a lot worse. She's way powerful. She's going to get out of it. And besides, she's got a potential Slayer bodyguard here with her. It's going to be fine. And Kennedy goes, I never told you that I was a potential Slayer.
Or that my name was Kennedy.
Yeah.
I don't know if she thought her name was Kennedy or not.
And at this point, I was like, oh, is Amy the first evil? Is Amy dead? Because I don't know how else Amy would know about this.
Well, they kind of set up that witches can do locator stuff.
Yeah. Do you think Amy was doing locator spells for Slayers?
She might have been spying on them or hearing about, hey, there's a redhead and a Slayer running around with a bunch of girls going to demon bars, talking at full volume about training. She could have been in a corner of that demon bar having a drink.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little bit
of
a...
At this point, I was like, oh, Amy's the first evil.
Yeah. But she couldn't have been because you can't slap her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go back to the basement. This big demon thing is attacking Buffy in the dark, and Spike can't help because he's having brain pain. And then eventually the demon knocks Buffy away and it starts dragging Spike away.
I didn't get this. It looks like he just tosses Buffy aside and then slowly drags Spike away. And I'm like, Buffy's not unconscious. He's walking around all slow. I'm like, that's not going to do anything.
Yeah, and also, what are you going to do with Spike?
Yeah, why do you want Spike?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe to get revenge. Maybe did something as it was Hostile 17. Maybe that's Hostile 18.
No, that's Specimen 17.
Oh, okay, that's where that came from. Okay, yeah.
That's why people were like, we don't like you mixing it up because it's going to get confusing.
So then we cut away to just a shop owner being like, oh, you like that one? How did that one work out for you last time? And it's Willow / Warren.
War Willow.
At a... Huh?
War Willow is what I've been calling it.
War Willow. All right. Warlow.
Willren or War Willow? Warlow?
Wirren?
Warlow is not bad. Warlow's not bad.
Yeah, Warlow's good.
Yeah, Warlow's
good.
Yeah.
So Warlow is at a store, and it's a gun store. And Warlow is about to buy a gun. And Warlow is so fucking jazzed about getting this gun. He's like, oh, you have no idea how awesome this gun was last time I used it.
The gun dealer's really psyched to sell it, too. How'd that work out last time? It's like, did you not hear about that shooting at the Summers house? It's a small town, guy.
It's a one Starbucks town. I figured that everyone would have heard about that. Killing one of the 2 lesbians in town.
You know the girls that were making out and floating at the bronze?
So then we go back to Giles at the Vision Quest retreat spot. They're in Joshua Tree doing mushrooms. And the Scoobs all show up and they just jump on him. And then Xander is like, everybody touch him, make sure he's real, touch him. And everyone's just patting all over his body. And Giles is like, I'm intensely confused as to why you all are attacking me and touching me, even some people that I would never consent to touching me. And then we cut to a wider shot, and Andrew's got his hand on Giles's upper thigh. And Andrew's like, oh, sorry.
Does Giles look thinner in this episode? In the first shot, he looked like he was he looked thin and sickly, almost.
I don't know. Maybe he's been hitting the gym or something. Maybe his doctor was like, you need to drop some LBs.
I love that I said thin and sickly, and you were like, yeah, that's the gym look.
I mean, losing weight will make you look thinner.
Thinner, but not sickly.
I don't know. I didn't think that he looked sickly. I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
He's got some very interesting forehead wrinkles. I will say that.
Oh no, he definitely has the diagonal lines forehead wrinkles.
Yeah.
There's another actor that's in Game of Thrones and The Crown who has that too. I've seen that a couple times, but I don't necessarily understand the bone structure that leads to the diagonal downward crease.
Yeah.
But
because you see those horizontal lines.
Yeah.
You see those a lot. But I don't think I have ever seen the diagonal.
I've seen it on him, and I've seen it on another actor. Yeah. I don't think I've seen him in real life. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I have a very prominent like
Yeah.
skull situation. I'll probably get those.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Giles is not the first evil. Joe was wrong. I never predicted that he was. my
Apparently
note,
not.
My note here is this is a good fake out by the show, sort of TBD.
I don't think it's a good fake out by the show because that axe was about an inch away from Giles's head. How the hell did he get out of that?
Hence my sort of TBD. Like they're subverting some expectations. Like they show that, then they try to say he's back, but then they want you to think he's the first evil for a few episodes. You know, because
they don't show him touching anything.
Stuff. Like even at the beginning of the episode, he's like, "Hey Don, can you bring her that book? Hey, can you show them this stuff?" So they're doing the tease to make you think it is. Then he's not. But the payoff of how he didn't lose his head is where you're gonna have to.
That's what it hinges on.
It hinges on that, yeah. Because we call bullshit. Because we call bullshit with the axe coming down, and we're like,
yeah. That was, I mean, it was half a foot, 6 inches away from his head.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm being accurate, it was so close to his head.
It was so close to his head, I wonder how they filmed it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I guess if it was like made of foam or something, like, it'd be fine if he actually did get bonked with it.
None of the props are fake in Buffy. They use real stuff. It was so dangerous.
Actors were constantly being hurt.
Oh my god, that scene where Joyce had to hit Spike with the axe. Oof.
Yeah. That was a tough day for James Marsters.
She was winding up. They were like, "Hey, oh, flip it over, backside of the axe, please."
I also love that you used the phrase "subvert your expectation." Now that we figured that out, we're gonna fucking hammer that phrase.
Oh yeah.
I listened back to that episode. That was so painful to listen to. And I'm so glad that you got it. And dude, I love that the listeners in Discord were like, "Oh my god, I was freaking out when you guys couldn't get it."
I just know from listening to other podcasts when people just can't get it.
Yeah.
And one of my biggest, like, not even like fear things is something I always think of is like being on a game show or some like competition, and the question is something that you know, and you just can't remember it. Like, you got a chance to win like $10,000 if you can remember subvert your expectations, and you just can't think of the word. And it's the timer, and it's like, you got 5 seconds, and you're just like, I'm going to lose because I can't think of something that I've said 100 times.
And then once you hear the answer, you're like, fuck!
Yeah.
I knew that!
Well, thanks for being here. Every guest receives a...
like a facial coupon or whatever. Have a nice chiropractic adjustment.
You're having a mental breakdown while the host is like talking to the audience and signing off, and you're in the background just dying inside.
Yeah. Dude, I was on a game show. I was on Let's Make a Deal. And I was doing like a side game that they do. They have like mini side games. And what they have you do is like, the one that I was doing was I had to like shoot a little mini basketball into a hoop that a guy, like the co-host, was holding. And I shot it, and the co-host moved the hoop. And I was like, "Oh, what the fuck, dude? And he was like, "All right, here, we'll give you another try." And I shot it again, and he moved the hoop again. And I was like, "Dude, what the fuck? Like, I'm trying to win $100 right now."
I think I would have decked him in the face with the ball.
Well, this is what happened. The third time, Wayne Brady like came up. I shot the ball, and he just slapped it out of the air. And he was like, "We'll just give you $100 anyway." And I was like, "Oh my god, thank God!" I was about to beat the shit out of Wayne Brady.
Is this something that people can see?
I don't know if the game was actually televised, because some of the mini games get televised and some of them don't. But a guy that I went to high school with, that I like wasn't like necessarily good friends with, hit me up on Facebook and was like, "Yo, were you in the audience of Let's Make a Deal dressed as a giant chicken?" And I was like, "Yep, that was me."
Wait. How do you bury the lead that you're dressed like a giant chicken?
Oh, I mean, you have to wear a costume to be in the audience of it.
I don't think I've ever watched that show.
It's so hella goofy, dude. Like, everybody's dressed in a costume. It's so painful because when you go to the taping of it.
So that means you are on that episode in the audience dressed as a chicken, so people can find that.
Yeah, they can find it. I'm like in the front row as a giant chicken. Like,
can you point the listeners to what year, season, maybe?
Oh man, it would have been like 6 years ago at this point, and that's like a daily show. So good luck, listeners, if you can find that. Kudos to you. But the taping starts at like 8 a.m, and you have to get there at like 6 a.m. And they're like, all right, we need you at high energy. We need you screaming. We need you loud and cheering and everything. And I was like in my glasses, like just so slumped over. My friend that I brought with me, she was like not having it. I tried my best to like dance around and everything. And that's how they pick who to bring on, because they want the most enthusiastic people. And for fucking 6 a.m, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
Dressed in a giant chicken costume in like the LA heat.
Did they put you in that costume, or did you bring your own?
Yeah, I brought my own. I was dressed as a chicken. I had a giant chicken costume just ready to go. My friend was dressed as bacon and eggs.
All right.
Anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, so Giles is not the first evil.
It is TBD if we like that or not.
Yeah. Yeah, if dude, maybe because he knows witchcraft. Maybe he like
here's
put up
the thing.
A protection spell.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think. Like he had the witch's protection spell over him, and you get that little force field when the axe comes down. But then Robson, I wonder if Robson ended up dying. And
no, because Robson was on the phone with Andrew.
Yeah, you can make phone calls.
If you're dead,
you could.
Is he the first evil?
I'm saying you could pretend to be Robson on the phone calling, and to get them to go somewhere. If you want the house.
Robson would never do that.
The first evil pretending to be Robson could.
I did like that when the Scoobs all realized, they were like, oh shit, like who would be the best person to infiltrate the system than someone that Buffy would trust the most? How the hell did he get out of that?
It gets a little weird because it's like the first evil pretended to be another pre-slayer that it killed. But why would it need to do that if it was Giles? And then we see Giles sit on a coffee table, which was really, I think, a thing that I was like, I don't think he could sit on a coffee table. And that opening scene
he was like flying on planes apparently.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if like he met them somewhere at that. It was like a little tricky of like, once he said he was, I like that he tried to be like, he's not driving them there. But I was like, if he's sitting in the car.
Yeah. What constitutes touching something?
Yeah. Like we saw the other one, she was able to sit on the floor.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like we can't go, you can't go through gravity or whatever. But you can't really sit on the couch though. Because Giles was always standing every time we saw him.
Yeah.
But then when he sat on the coffee table, I was like, that's a little, I don't think you could sit on a coffee table. That's literally interacting.
I mean, he could have just been doing like a squat hovering above it.
Unnecessary.
But I mean, if we're going to get that nitpicky, then like Eve was laying on the ground, like with a blanket, like a sleeping bag and a pillow. You know, could she have touched a pillow? Could she have touched a sleeping bag? Well, she would have gone through that.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so Giles isn't the first evil.
Yeah.
So we go back to the initiative basement, and Buffy is down there. She's looking for Spike because the demon stole him. And then the demon appears and it just starts attacking Buffy. Buffy fights it off, and she stabs it in the neck with something. And she finds Spike, and she's like, don't worry. I think that that demon, all of the lights turn on. The initiative guys show up with a bunch of guns, and they're pointing them at Spike and Buffy. And Buffy goes, I think that demon was just the start of it. And then some general guy, part of the initiative, is like, hey, we got a call from Agent Finn that you tried to contact him and you needed his help. And Buffy's like, I knew that flower shop was just a secret government conspiracy thing. And they're like, we heard that you needed help with old ass face here. And then they kind of look at him like, whoa, what the fuck was that? And then the general was like, hey, his words, not mine. Love that.
A little point for Riley.
Yeah, nice little touch.
He is high up if he can tell them, hey, you know that that vampire you sent me to Sunnydale to kill, I didn't kill him. And this girl, she has all the power now.
Yeah, he was there on orders to kill him.
And then was like, well, since Buffy's sleeping with him, if you don't want me to kill him, I won't.
Yeah.
Why are the initiative guys in the initiative building?
Right?
Why would they think, oh, she's obviously going to go underground into this place that I shouldn't let other soldiers see? Hey, other soldiers that we've brainwashed to be in the initiative, this is what could happen to you. Step over the dead bodies of other soldiers.
You think they were soldiers, or you think that was just all the demons that were being locked in that?
I think it was everything. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Why would they care about the demons?
Because Buffy's got a heart of gold, my friend.
Yeah, I just don't know why they're where they are in the initiative when this reveal happens. They're all lined up like, hey, guys, let's go to Sunnydale. Let's go into an abandoned building and wait for them to show up.
And it is like a lot of them. There's like at least 15 of them there.
Yeah. And they got in position and then turned the lights on.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, all right.
I don't know why also, but I love the sound that they always put in of just like handling a gun, that like
yeah. The more you hear, you're like, that's a lot of guns.
Yeah.
It's like when someone grabs a knife and you get the shing. I was like, it's not even rubbing in anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never once in real life heard a knife make that sound. I'm going to try.
I think I've heard it like once or twice, but it's not like every time you pick up a knife.
I think is it like if you just like rub a knife against another knife?
It's like metal rubbing against metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then we go to Willow, and Willow is just walking around town with a gun in hand. She's just, what is this, Texas?
Which I'm saying, this is how Sunnydale should be.
Yeah. They should have blessed bullets.
Yeah.
And fucking be shooting.
Put carve that little crucifix, that little lowercase t into the tip of the bullet.
Yep. So then we go back to the initiative basement, and Buffy is getting the lowdown from the general about what's going on with Spike. The general's telling Buffy, hey, the chip, as you suspected, the chip's efficacy has been degraded. And if we leave it as is, it could be fatal to Hostile 17.
Buffy should have like flashbacks to Joyce getting her diagnosis.
Yeah. And he's like, it's malfunctioning, it's activating when it shouldn't. And Buffy's like, well, what do we do? What can be done? And the general's like, well, it's up to you to decide. We can either repair it or we can remove it fully. And then the shot just lingers on Buffy, contemplating for a good 5 seconds of her just looking down like, oh my God, Spike's fate is in my hands.
Yeah. These soldiers are like, we take orders from you now because Fenn told us to.
Yeah.
This is how the secret organization military work. This isn't a hard choice. The choice they posed, I didn't like. I thought it was going to be, we can take it out or he can die. Right?
Yep.
That's what I expected. But instead they go, we can repair it or remove it. Not a hard choice. That's not a hard choice.
That's not a hard choice at all. That's what dude, that's the biggest problem with this scene.
It's supposed to be he keeps it in, he dies, or we take it out. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a life or death thing, not a we fix it or we take it out.
Or they could explain like, we can repair it, but it probably will degrade like 3 or 4 years down the line again, and you'd have to call us again. And I don't know if we're going to be like, if they explain that.
And Buffy's
but,
like, no, I don't need that, because then Buffy's like, well, I'm going to be dead in 4 years, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, the choice of repair, remove, or die is not hard at all. Repair,
Done.
Send them back out there.
Yes.
If she removes it at this point, that's so stupid.
She's going to remove it, obviously, because he has a soul now. But I'm like,
yep.
You also know that Angel would turn into Angelus. So if he had a chip when he turned into Angelus, it would be really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So I like,
yeah, souls can be removed.
yeah, it's, yeah. And it's one of those things where I'm like, why there's no reason to take it out if they can repair the chip. Just repair the chip.
Yes.
Spike has been doing fine with a chip that allows him. What does he need the power to punch regular people for?
Yeah, they could also like remove this chip, install a newer chip that they've been working on that's even more powerful or something that can kill people that have been killed and come back to life.
Yeah, can you update the? Can you update it so that he can't hit me again?
Yeah.
But yeah, just it has to be like life or death, but not choose repair. She looks like just repair it.
Yeah, I don't know why she would not choose repair.
I can't wait to hear her argument. I can't wait to hear her argument for removing it. I can't wait to hear it.
You just know she's going to have it removed. It's stupid.
He has a soul now, so we can trust him. I'm like, what happens if... It's just unnecessary, man.
Yeah.
Also, you know what? Ask some more questions about how this chip works. You know?
Yeah, oh yeah. How come he can hit me?
How come...
You never took that
How come if
effect?
a demon takes over his body, it doesn't work? Like,
Yeah.
How does this thing work?
Yeah.
I can't believe we're dealing with this chip in season 7. I can't
They're
believe
going to remove it so we don't have to ask those questions anymore.
It's, over halfway through the last season, they remove it.
Yep. So that's where that is left. So then we go back to Kennedy talking to Amy. And after Kennedy is called out, Amy, like, I never said that I was a potential slayer. And Amy goes, oops. And then Kennedy goes to attack Amy, and Amy uses a spell that just sends Kennedy flying. Like, she flies like 3 rows up in this auditorium-style classroom and slams into a chair. And Kennedy's like, why? Why are you doing this? Why'd you do this to Willow? And Amy's like, oh, relax. I just put a hex on her. It's fine. And Amy did it because she was jealous of Willow. All this witchcraft stuff just came so naturally to her, and all of us other witches had to work twice as hard to be half as good as Willow. And it sucks. And it's bullshit because everybody likes Willow. She almost destroyed the entire world, and people keep loving her. But she was a magic junkie just like me. Nobody gave a fuck about me. I was a rat for fucking 4 seasons. Nobody tried to make me a regular person again until Willow just mistakenly was like, oh, I guess I should look into that. What the fuck? How come people still like her?
I'm with Amy on Amy makes a good point about how everyone just loves Willow no matter what she does, which has been talked about on Discord and the Xander debate channel. God, I can't believe that has opened back up. But it's a valid point. Like Amy being jealous, Amy's being malicious. They made her go crazy. I thought Amy's turn from like, hey, I've been a rat this whole time. Oh, I'm super witch powered. I'm like, you haven't been training for 4 years as a rat, so. But I thought that was like a jump for her. But whatever. She does have a point that Willow just keeps getting passes.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
We've been calling it out. And like, I like Willow as a character in the show. I like all of them in their own way. I think they work as a group in the show. The Scoobies, though, fuck the Scoobies. But Willow does get it's fine. You tried to kill the world. Oh, you did this thing to us. You made us all. You came back early from your training overseas, and then made everybody not be able to see each other. But it's okay.
Yep. You legitimately killed a man.
Yeah.
In the most gruesome way that anyone has seen. It's okay.
You fought Buffy, and you brought up stuff that you've been harboring since high school, which is still in there. That's some real shit. That wasn't just Dark Willow. That was some deep-seated resentment that was coming out. But it's okay.
Yep.
You tried to kill me and my sister. That's okay.
It's fine. Like, we'll solve this by literally hugging you and saying, I love you.
Yeah.
And I'll never stop loving you. Even if you destroy the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Amy's got a point.
Amy's got a point. They don't do her any justice in this scene with the lighting. There's one scene where they light her and it's just way too harsh. And I'm like, why did they do that? Because you look at Kennedy and she's like soft lit. And then Amy's in like this really hard light. I don't know.
Yeah, Amy's got a point on the loving thing, but like the jealousy thing like that.
The jealousy
not,
thing.
Yeah.
And I mean,
we had to work twice as hard. Yeah, that's just life, dude.
And I will always say this. We always wanted Amy the rat to get a chance to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But she did abandon them in gingerbread and left them to die. She wasn't great.
Did. The reason why she was a rat was because she turned herself into a rat to escape and leave Buffy and Willow high and literally dry.
Yes.
Yeah. Literally high, literally dry.
Yep. Great episode.
Yeah, that episode is pretty good. But anyway.
She also says that the hex that she put on her lets the subconscious pick the form of their punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's just Willow's like deep-seated, self-conscious, embarrassing. It was so embarrassing when I flayed a guy.
It's not that. That's not what makes her turn, though.
Yeah.
It's the other thing that we'll talk about in the next scene.
Yeah. So Kennedy's still like, why'd you do this? Why'd you do this? And then Amy's like, you want to know why? I'll show you why. And then she transports Kennedy to the spot where Buffy and Xander were standing when Warren showed up and shot at them and also killed Tara.
Now, when this snap happened, did you think this was real life? Or like some fantasy? Because it's nighttime when they're talking, but it's now daytime.
Yes.
I mean, it's like full day, not like sun's coming up. It's like middle of the day, same lighting, same situation as when Buffy and Tara got shot.
Yeah, I thought that this was some kind of different dimensional vision or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like in a flashback type situation. Like, oh, you want to see what happened? Here's what happened.
Yeah. But so then Willow shows up. Warlow shows up. Warlow shows up to recreate the scene where Warren had the gun and shot. So Warlow shows up. They've got the gun.
This has to be so triggering for people that seeing Red is like it's not an episode they're fans of. To see now that Willow is playing the role.
Yeah. And they're like, you think you could do this to me? You think you could do this to me? And Kennedy's like, whoa, dude. I was just trying to mac on you. Like, I didn't do anything to you, dude. Like, I didn't do anything.
Sunnydale's fucked up. Like, I don't know if I like it here.
And they keep going back and forth with Warlow between like showing Warren and Willow. And they're like, Kennedy's all confused. And Willow eventually is like, I killed someone. And Kennedy is like, who'd you kill? And then Willow is also just like, you tricked me into kissing you. And because of that, I can't hold on. And Warren is in my body. He's going to take over my body. And Warren is winning. And Willow is being punished for kissing Kennedy. And it means that she let Tara go. It's like she is no longer like still hurting from Tara. It's like she's kind of moving on. And Willow ended up kill her and let her be dead. That type of stuff where it's like, oh, if I move on from Tara, then it's like her memory dies or something.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. And Kennedy's like, dude, you didn't do anything wrong. Like, number one, I kissed you. And it's fine. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. You're moving on with your life. That happened, like 2 seasons ago, I think. Like, that was a while ago, dude. Like, was that 2 seasons? No, it was last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was last season. But like, dude, it's fine. And you know what? All of this is fake anyway. This is all just magic. This is all just fairy tale bullshit. And I think I know what I need to do in order to break this spell. And then Willow is like, what do you got to do? And then Kennedy's like, it's just like in the fairy tales. And Kennedy leans in and kisses Willow, and it works.
Now, I wrote down that exact line that Kennedy says, but I want to bring up,
please.
I want to bring up that Willow is like turning back and forth into Warren, and she breaks down and she's on her knees, and she's been pointing the gun the whole time. And I'm still like, is this a fantasy? Like, can she actually kill Kennedy here? Like, is this actually happening?
Yeah.
And then I couldn't help but kind of laugh. And I know it's a super emotional moment, but Willow drops to her knees and she's like, please, baby, I'm so sorry. And she said that, and she's like weeping, like apologizing to Tara for what happened and for moving on and stuff. But the please, baby just took me back to her being like, baby, please, baby. It's like,
yeah, it just I remember when she said that, we're like, does not sound natural coming out of her mouth.
And then when she said it here, I was like, I could see Warren saying something like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something when she says that, I just chuckled. And then when they cut to like Warren on the ground crying, and I was like a little, I don't know. For some reason, it just made me laugh a little bit. And I know it's supposed to be super emotional, but, and then Kennedy says, just more reasons for Amy the Rat to hate Willow. She goes, I don't think you did anything wrong. It's just magic. Yeah. And I think I'm figuring the whole magic thing out. It's just like fairy tales. And then they do that spin around kiss thing that they did before. And they spin around. And then Willow's back to being Willow. And Kennedy goes, I am good.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot to mention earlier in the episode when Willow changes into Warren, and something about like Kennedy says like, man, or you must be good. Or somebody says that to Kennedy, like, you must be good. Like, and then at
what
this
does that
scene,
mean?
It's like a callback.
You're
to
so
that.
good that you can kiss a girl, turn her into a guy. That's the goal.
Yeah. So this line here, I am good, is a callback.
Yeah.
To that.
And then they just walk into the house together.
Yeah, Kenny's gonna make Willow some tea.
Yeah,
we all know what that means.
Yeah. Yeah, they flipped the now she's making her tea. So now Kennedy and Willow are a couple.
Yeah, they're married basically.
Yeah.
They're in love.
This is where I don't know if I like this episode fully. I get what they're trying to do with this fairy tale thing. I don't know. I don't know if I liked it. I don't know if I like this ending.
I enjoyed this episode. I couldn't really. Yeah, I was with you when Buffy and Spike were in the initiative. I could not care less about that.
Like,
I was more.
Let's get through this. You know?
I think the thing that I was most invested in was the Scoobs and Giles, like trying to figure out if Giles is the first evil. That was where my most investment was.
I had a feeling he wasn't once they started talking about it. I was like, yeah he's not going to be it. It's 2. They would reveal it a different way. But
here's what. So I kind of like the Willow.
I like the Amy the Rat twist that she knew about the potential slayers and that she was doing stuff. And I was like, yeah, I like her as at this point, I like her as a bad guy character. Yeah. But I didn't want that for Amy the Rat when she came back. But I think she actually has an imposing, one, she's super powerful. And then she also has an imposing threat, So.
Mm-hmm. And as we have often discussed, witchcraft is the most powerful thing in this universe.
So yeah, at some point when they kill the first evil 3 episodes before the finale, then Amy the Witch can show up and Amy the Witch Rat.
Yeah. I like the Willow Kennedy thing kind of. What I just don't like is, so I am very much a staunchly non-believer in magic and astrology and crystals and all that kind of stuff. And in media, whenever they portray somebody like that, they're always like an asshole and or wrong. And so they make Kennedy here look like, "Oh, I don't believe in any of that. That's fairy tale nonsense." And then it's like she starts to believe and she's like, "Oh, this is how the magic works." And I just hate that portrayal.
I don't think they're portraying her as an asshole for not believing in magic in this, though.
But they obviously are like, "Well, you're wrong," which she is in this universe. She's wrong.
Well, she knows magic exists. She just doesn't like it the same way other characters don't like using magic all the time.
Yeah.
I don't think they're doing a, she's not a, oh, magic doesn't exist and that's just make-believe kind of thing. She says it's fairy tale stuff, but I think they're only doing the fairy tale thing so they can do the fairy tale ending. And I didn't like at the end, she's like, "I'm figuring out this whole magic thing. It's like a fairy tale." That to me undercuts the magic. I don't think it's undercutting her. I think it's undercutting magic. She's like, "Oh, I get it. It's like a fairy tale. I just have to kiss the frog." Like, wait, what? That's not how this works. You kissing her shouldn't get Willow to get over her inner trauma that she killed Tara. Like Kennedy kissing Willow should not solve the problem.
Yeah, it shouldn't help. Willow's issue right now is like, I am getting over Tara, and Kennedy's like, let's just lean into that.
Yeah, it was like, you kissed me, it turned me, but you kissing me again will turn me back again.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if it's a fairy tale, if it's simplistic, sure. But I think the thing she's dealing with is more serious than that.
Do you know what I mean, though, about like how in a lot of this kind of stuff where whenever people are like, oh, there's no such thing as magic or there's no such thing as spells, and like they are always proven wrong and they always look like big assholes.
But is that in media that has magic in the world? I'm saying, is that in content where there is magic in the world?
Yes, but the person that's saying it doesn't know that there's magic in the world.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's different. Of course, like the person that's saying, oh, I don't believe in superheroes in a superhero movie is going to be the asshole. It's not like there's a world where there is no magic. The person doesn't believe in magic and they're made to look like an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I think that the people that don't believe in magic should be portrayed as heroes.
But that doesn't relate to real life, you not believing in magic. If you were in Sunnydale and said I didn't believe in magic, that'd be different than living in the real world where there hasn't been like empirical evidence of magic.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that like this type of media influences people into thinking like, oh, if you're not a magic believer, like, because there are people that believe in, dude, I legit know a person.
Yeah, you run in that, you also run in that circle of people.
I know a human adult woman.
Yeah, I know. You're
who votes. Yeah. Who legitimately believes that vampires exist, like in the world.
Yeah, there are people that believe in ghosts and there are people that don't. There are people that believe aliens are on Earth and people that don't. It's fine. Like, like if every media shows the person, okay, do you have the same thing when a person's like, I don't believe in aliens in a show and they're made to be crazy in a show that has aliens?
Yeah.
So you hate that they make that non-alien believer look like a jerk?
I mean, I think that aliens are more plausible.
But I'm just saying, like that in something where something exists, the person that doesn't believe the thing exists is always made to look a little foolish. I don't think in this they're making Kennedy look foolish.
Okay.
Like at what point does she like, she's not like rampantly like against anything.
I just don't know why they would have her say that to Willow about like, I don't believe in this fairy tale stuff after she's
so
seen
they can
the
have
magic.
this ending. So they can have this fairy tale
then it
ending.
doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
That's the point. They tease the fairy tale thing so they can have a fairy tale ending. That's why the camera spins around the first time they kiss. And I was like, why are we doing this? Oh, it's a body switch. Oh, we're going to do it again so we can do another body switch back. The last line, and she's like, I'm figuring out this magic thing. It's like a fairy tale. Magic is not like a fairy tale, not in this show.
Yeah.
If this was a different movie or something, like if this is Frozen.
Enchanted.
Like Frozen does kind of,
movie.
like Frozen kind of has that kind of ending where you have to figure out what the thing is that will fix this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it ends up being love and it's a little twist on that. That works.
Mm-hmm.
Here it's like, oh, you're having trouble getting over your dead girlfriend? I got you. I'm gonna kiss you again. How does that solve Willow's problem?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's why I don't know. I just didn't. I get it. I get what they're going for with this magical. We can't do another song episode where they're singing. Let's do a little fairy tale story. I don't know. I wish they would have done it more like Gingerbread in a way where it's more one-to-one to a fairy tale or something throughout the whole arc. But it was like a body switch and then tied to her line earlier about not believing in magic that much. But then see, it's like she doesn't believe in it or doesn't like it, or she thinks it's stupid. I don't know why she thinks that at all, because she hasn't been in this world long enough to have any opinions on magic. She's seen it for like maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's just no reason for her to not believe in magic when she's seen it happen.
Or to have a strong opinion about it.
Yeah. It's wacky.
I don't know. It's just something. And then we got Kennedy and Willow together at the end of the episode. It's like, that seems quick.
Well, then you're not going to like the title of this next episode, Vance.
Okay.
Next episode is titled First Date.
Dawn and Andrew, done.
I'm going to say Kennedy Willow, also Xander Anya, also
wait,
Buffy Spike.
You can't pick every couple. You think all of them are going to have a date?
Yep, all of them. Those 3 couples.
Or what 3 couples did you say again?
Willow, Kennedy.
They already had a first date.
Xander Anya. No, that wasn't a date. That was a mission, Vance. Okay, get it straight.
Once I got that second drink, that was a date.
Xander and Anya are going to rekindle.
Mm-hmm.
Spike and Buffy and Spike is going to say something like, we never actually did go on like a date. Let me be like a proper gentleman and take you on a date.
Now that I got this chip out of my head.
Yeah. Thank you for the chip removal. Let me take you to the Bronze. The only date spot in town.
Yeah, I'm going to Dawn Andrew. First date. Well, I think first date could also mean something else, not like a date, because they've been doing little tricks with the words, a little wordplay. Like, I'm leaning. I want to say something about the principal, but I'm not.
I miss the principal. It'll be 4 episodes.
Yeah, I'm fine with.
I mean, they have mysterious
what is
stuff
that, like 10
behind
more.
them.
There's 10 more episodes left.
No, there's
9.
I mean, there's 9.
9 more episodes.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah.
Oh well. But yeah, first date.
Hmm.
I'm gonna also say that all of the dates go well.
Wow.
Yep.
So no drama this episode. The first Buffy, the first non-conflict Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode ever. Got it.
Everything's gonna be great. The first is gonna come roaring back during all of their dates. There we go.
So
they're gonna bust into the restaurant.
So the dates go well, but the first evil doesn't ruin them.
I mean,
interrupts.
They're good dates. They're going well.
Okay.
And then the first evil comes in at the end and undercuts everything and attacks them. There you go.
Okay.
That's my prediction. All right. Anyway, that is a wrap, everybody, for The Killer and Me. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for all of your patronage and everything like that. Sign up for Discord. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy, where we're doing Boys Watching Angel, Boys Watching Movies. We just released the Scooby-Doo 2, and there's a little thing. You get a little preview about what's to come next if you're subscribed to that and see what the next movie is. And we also, of course, Joe's Fashion Report /corner. Amazon wishlist exists, merch exists, Seltzer Kings, we're on that, seltzerkings.com. If you want to get a shout out, Apple Podcast 5-star rating and review, Spotify 5-star rating, take a screenshot of it, send it in to us, and we will shout you out. And that's a wrap, everybody. Oh, no, it's not. Instagram, @Boys Watching Buffy, boyswatchingbuffy@gmail.com. Now it's a wrap. And stay tuned for next time when we talk about First Date.
Remember when things used to be nice and boring?
No.
Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.